The public is active this weekend in Week 17 of the NFL. 7 most public sides I'm going to give you free in this video for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, covering the next 3 days and nights of NFL football. We're going to figure out if we should play them or fade them. Fade the public. Week 17 is here right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, back here on WagerTalk TV, breaking down the most public sides for this weekend, Week 17 of the schedule. I do have 2 for Saturday, also 4 on Sunday, and also the Monday night game. We're going to get to that in a moment. In fact, the Monday night game is the most public play in Week 17. But let's go down in start order because we do have 2 Saturday games. I'm going to quickly hit on these 2. I know many of you are joining us early. You'll see this. Some of you might be joining us later on Saturday or Sunday morning. Don't forget, if you want an instant alert the minute this video is posted each and every week, click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert here on WagerTalk TV. All right, 2 public plays on Saturday. You don't have to wait long. One of the most public plays this week goes at 1 o'clock Eastern Saturday on Netflix. The LA Chargers minus the 4.5 to minus 5. Chargers are a very public side on Saturday afternoon. And as I've said on this video for years, we don't just blindly fade the public. We look for reasons. And in this case, I don't disagree with the public. I think the Chargers are the play in this game. You know, the spot to play New England was last week. If you recall, there were 2 very public plays last week. One of them was the Buffalo Bills minus 14. I told you on this video I thought we should fade the public with the Patriots. In fact, that was a strong best bet for my clients last Sunday. We are now 12-0, perfect 12-0 on best bets the last 3 Sundays at WagerTalk.com. I'll talk more about that in a moment, how you can save 25% on this Sunday's best bets in just a moment. But the spot to fade New England, in my opinion, was last week. It was a huge flat spot for the Bills, and the Patriots had a 14-0 lead as a 14-point dog. Blew the lead, ended up losing the game. I think that could linger here. And now the quick turnaround, although it's a West Coast to East Coast trip for the Chargers, keep in mind they had the Thursday night game the week before against Denver, so they have a mini bye week. Even though they're traveling cross-country and it's an early kickoff for a West Coast team in cold weather, I think the scheduling spot actually favors the Chargers here, so I don't disagree with the public on Saturday afternoon. All right, let's look at the other public play, and that's your Saturday night game at 8:15 Eastern, also on Netflix, and that's the LA Rams. Public is on both LA teams. I love LA. Public loves LA, and this is a spot where I think we should fade the public. I like the Arizona Cardinals plus the 6.5 on Saturday night. I did a standalone video, a free play video for this game earlier this week right here on WagerTalk TV, a deep dive analysis. If you'd like more insight on why I like the Cardinals, check out that 5-minute video here on the channel. A couple things I mentioned. First of all, Cardinals are better than their record indicates. They've been eliminated from the playoffs. I don't think they toss the towel. In fact, playing teams that are out of the postseason against teams that have something to play for still, like the Rams, playing these ugly ducklings have been a long-term winning play in the NFL for decades in the month of December. And I actually don't consider the Cardinals an ugly duckling. They're 7-8 straight up this season. And if you look at the overall offense and defensive numbers, very similar to the Rams. And keep in mind, they blew LA out back in September. Now, I know the Rams are a better team than they were back in September. And I touch upon this in that free play video. The Rams, of course, started the season extremely slowly. What were they? I believe 1-4 straight up and 1-5 against the spread to start. They have quietly gone 8-2 straight up since that 1-4 start. So yes, they are playing better. They're getting healthy. But still, the Cardinals manhandled them back in Week 2, 41-10, and there was nothing misleading about that. I think Arizona can hang in this game, so I would fade the public. Once again, public is on the Rams. I like the Cardinals plus 6.5, and there's a full free play video here on the channel you can watch afterwards for more deep dive analysis. All right, those are your 2 Saturday games. Public is on both Los Angeles teams, the Chargers and the Rams. All right, let's move on to Sunday now. Just one official public play on the daytime card. The other 2 ones are the Sunday and Monday night games, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But the most public daytime play this Sunday afternoon is the Indianapolis Colts at 1 o'clock Eastern. And I don't think it's necessarily the public is on the Colts. It's just nobody and their brother and sister are back in the Giants. And who could disagree? Giants are horrendous. 2-13 straight up. Huge quarterback issues and huge injuries. They're going to be without another 3 or 4 starters this week. They've lost their entire roster this season, it seems. They've had 4 different quarterbacks throw a pass. It's listed as undecided right now, but it does look like we're going to have Drew Lock back at the helm. He was fully participating in Friday's practice, and Lock has been terrible during his career. He was bad in Denver the last time he was a full-time starter a few years ago, and he has looked horrendous. He looked horrendous last week as well for the Giants. So once again, I'm in no hurry to lay 7.5 with the Colts on the road, but there's no way I'm trusting the Giants in this one. By the way, the Colts quarterback situation is questionable as well. Anthony Richardson is questionable. Flacco is healthy. If you look at their numbers, there's been no difference this year. So whether it's Richardson or Flacco or anybody else, I really don't change the power rating much for the Colts. A lot of uncertainty with the Giants here, and it does look like they've kind of quit on the season. In fact, the Giants have only covered once since the first week of October. That's right, they have covered only once. They are 1-9 against the spread their last 10. Now, of course, because of that, we are getting some line value, and that's why Fade in the Public does generally work in the month of December. In fact, the initial line this summer was going to be Colts -2, and just a week ago, the Colts were a 6.5-point look-ahead favorite. Now it's 7.5. So not really any value left with the Colts. If you had to play this game, and that's a big if, Colts on a teaser does make sense, taking them from 7.5 down to 1.5. This will be a solid teaser selection, but once again, even that one makes me a little nervous. You know, a couple weeks ago, I remember the Commanders, not my Washington Commanders, were a 7.5-point road favorite against the Saints. A lot of people tied them up in teasers, and of course, they blew the lead and only won by 1. Kind of get that same feeling about this game. Yes, the Colts qualify as a good 6-point teaser from 7.5 down to 1.5, but with all the uncertainty at quarterback for both teams, probably better games to be putting your money on this weekend. But once again, the public is heavy on the Colts. More so, I just don't think they're back in the Giants. That's why you got one-sided action in this quarterback-less game. Both quarterbacks are undecided heading into the weekend, although Drew Lock is expected to be the starter for the Giants. All right, 2 more official public plays. I'm going to give you 2 additional leans for Sunday. We're going to circle back to the Sunday daytime card. I do have 2 additional leans, but rounding out the official public plays for this week, your Sunday night game, not my Washington Commanders. Well, actually, the Washington Commanders are public. They're not my Commanders, as you know. I'm a future Redskin fan. Past Redskin fan, future Redskin fan. Bring it back. The logo's been approved. Let's bring it back. I did do a standalone video for this game, though, earlier, and I did give you some free advice on it. I think this is a spot where you could fade the public with the Falcons. I would lean towards Atlanta in this game. Michael Penix Jr., first start rookie quarterback out of Washington. He was decent last week. His numbers weren't great, but he actually played okay, I thought. Had 1 interception, no touchdown. First road start makes you a little nervous, and that's why the public is heavy on the Commanders. But still, if you look at the numbers for these two teams, pretty equal this season. I think Atlanta's the better defensive team overall. And Penix has big game experience. University of Washington national championship game last year. And he can hold his own against another rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. In fact, when this game kicks off, it is the Sunday night game. It was flexed into Sunday night, 8 o'clock, 8:20 Eastern on NBC. It'll be the first time in NFL history, primetime history that is, that 2 first-round rookie quarterbacks face off in a primetime national TV NFL game. Number 8 pick Penix, number 2 pick Daniels, and I would lean towards the Falcons. I do think this is a spot where we can fade the public with the Falcons. And, of course, one of the filters I like to use when fading the public is a quality team, and Atlanta actually can clinch the division. So this is one of those fade the public situations I think makes sense. I don't want anything to do with ugly teams like the Giants. Most of the time, not the Patriots. Last week I did because we had a situational spot. But in general, I like fading public dogs. We don't have any of those this week, but the reason that works is because you get a quality team. And this is one of those rare opportunities to fade the public with a quality playoff caliber team in the Falcons. Now, Atlanta has the worst record of all current playoff teams against other playoff teams. They're just 1-5 straight up. That's a concern. Commanders aren't much better, though. They're just 1-3 straight up against other current playoff teams. So once again, 2 teams that have underperformed when stepping up in class. I'd rather have the points +4 with Atlanta. That's your NBC late night game on Sunday evening. Okay, one other official play. This rounds out the 5 official public plays, and I'll get to 2 additional leans for you, but I'm going to go to the Monday night game, and this is one of the most public plays I've seen all season, just off the charts, and that's the Detroit Lions -3.5. And, you know, on the surface, you say, ooh, San Francisco, that's a quality team to fade the public with, but they're not. This is a team that's been beat up all season. They have vastly underperformed, and this is the type of team you got to be careful with in the final couple weeks because they've been officially eliminated now at 6-9 from the playoffs, and after being in the Super Bowl last year, not even making the playoffs, hard to imagine they care much about these final 2 games. And this is actually a focus spot for Detroit. They have near Super Bowl revenge. Keep in mind, they blew a huge first half lead. What was it, like 24-3, I believe, last year in the conference championship game? Ended up losing to San Francisco. Detroit missed their first Super Bowl ever. So I do think the Lions come to play here. Now, I have to point out couple things about this. Now, I did do a standalone solo video for this game, so once again, if you want a deep 5-minute analysis of this game, check out the solo videos. I did one, once again, for the late Saturday game, also that Commanders-Falcons Sunday night game, and this Monday night game. And one thing I point out is that depending on the result of the late Sunday kickoff between the Packers and Vikings, this game can mean a lot for Detroit or absolutely nothing. Here's how it works. If the Packers beat the Vikings, and it really wouldn't be an upset, that game's a pick-em, so it's 50-50. The Packers beat the Vikings, and if the Lions win Monday night in this game, they clinch the number 1 seed, the first-round bye in the playoffs, and home field throughout the NFC. If the Vikings beat the Packers, once again 50-50 theoretically, then the Lions would have to beat the Vikings next week in Week 18, and this game, I believe, does not matter at all. So it goes from clinching number 1 if the Packers win to basically a meaningless game until next week if the Vikings win. So keep an eye on that 4:25 Eastern game Sunday, and this line will probably move based on that result. However, head coach Dan Campbell has said this week that he will not play this game any differently depending on that result, whether it means something or not. We'll see. I kind of believe him. He's done that, and that's why they've been a point spread machine, by the way. Almost a 70% ATS play under Campbell's the last 4 seasons since he took over as Detroit head coach. But then again, you got to be practical. This team is getting beat up, especially defensive injuries, because they've been leaving those guys in. Obviously, if they have something to play for, this line will go even higher. If not, it could crack 3 or even below. If you're going to play this game, I think the sneaky way to play it is actually the first half line with Detroit minus 2.5. Regardless of that Viking-Packer outcome. Here's the logic. Minus 2.5, if they need the game, they'll play hard throughout, and they should win. However, if it's a meaningless game, I still think they come out strong in the first half because they want to make a statement. Campbell's going to play his starters for a while at least, and they also have playoff revenge after blowing that huge first half lead last year in San Francisco. So either way, the safest play is probably Detroit minus 2.5 first half, instead of laying that 3.5, that inflated number for the game. By the way, the look-ahead line this summer was San Francisco minus 4.5. How crazy is that? Now they're a 3.5-point home dog. But once again, I'm not looking to back the Niners here. They have quit on the season, and Detroit is a pure play-on team in this point spread range as they just smash teams. They've been doing it under Campbell. But once again, a lot of uncertainty of how they'll approach this game. We need to see that Packer-Viking outcome first. Detroit first half minus 2.5 is probably the safest option if you are looking to play it in advance. So once again, I would not disagree with the public, even though the Lions are one of the most public plays I've seen this entire season. All right, those are your 5 official public plays here for Week 17. Once again, your 2 Saturday games, the LA Chargers minus 4.5, LA Rams minus 6.5. Sunday afternoon, the Colts minus 7.5. Sunday Night Football, the Commanders minus 4. And then Monday Night Football, the Lions minus 3.5. Those are your 5 public plays this week, the Lions being the most public of those 5. I'm going to give you 2 additional leans real quick on the way out here. 2 games that are just a bit outside from making the cut on Sunday that are getting some public sentiment. I'm also going to have more details on a great special, but once again, that promo code to get a 25% instant discount on each and every purchase you make for the rest of this December 30 through December 31st for the rest of this year is Holiday 25. Just wanted to get that in so I don't forget. Holiday 25, HOLIDAY 25. Full details on my page. It can work on 1 play, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. Instant 25% discount for the rest of this week through December 31st on every purchase you make, including my 1-day all access for Sunday. And you might want to consider that perfect 12-0 sweep. Oops, I did it again. Last Sunday, 3-0 sweep. We went 6-0, 3-0, 3-0, 12-0 sweep the last 3 Sundays on best bets for my clients. Don't miss out on this Sunday. I love this Sunday's card. Oh, by the way, 8 advanced bowl plays are posted right now as well on my page. Hey, we're up over 150 units this year in 2024 on best bets. We're going to finish the year right, and we're going to start 2025 right. So if you're looking to upgrade for a 1 month or 1 year, now's the time to do it. Promo code HOLIDAY25, instant 25% discount on everything through December 31st at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's look at 2 more additional leans here on the way out. These games, not quite as strong as the 5 official public plays, but definitely getting some public sentiment nonetheless. And we'll look, first of all, on a late afternoon game on Sunday. And this is I talked about that Packer-Viking game at 4:25 Eastern, a standalone game on Fox. The only other 4 o'clock Eastern game is actually the CBS game, Dolphins-Browns. Blah. Someone's got to watch it, right? Well, the Dolphins are a pretty public side here, and that's not a surprise. Cleveland is a 3-12 team, very difficult team to back. And since their wins against Baltimore and Pittsburgh, go figure, pretty insane, right? Their only other win this season was Jacksonville, but they've now lost 4 straight since that Pittsburgh win, and they've gone 1-6 straight up in ATS their last 7 since that Baltimore win. So very difficult to trust the Browns. I do not disagree with the public in this one. Once again, though, line is inflated. The look-ahead line this summer was Browns -2. Browns -2 was the look-ahead line this summer, and even just a week ago, the advanced betting line was -3 Miami. Now it's 6.5. So boy, are you paying a premium to back the Dolphins. But once again, I want nothing to do with the Browns. Hard to disagree with the public in this one. And by the way, as far as the quarterback situation, it does look like Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to start again. He was awful last year in limited action. He was awful last week in his first start. In fact, for his career now, since coming out of UCLA, the last 2 years he's been with the Browns, limited action, of course. But boy, he has made the most of it. He's been about as bad as he could possibly be. Here's his numbers. 3.9 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions, and a 43.2 QB rating by being sacked 12 times. I guess it's probably the offensive line's fault. Horrendous numbers, some of the worst I've ever seen. Do not ask a bad team or a bad quarterback to do something good for you. This line might be inflated, but if Dorian Thompson-Robinson is behind center, the Browns remain in trouble, and that one is at 4 o'clock Eastern. The other the other public lean on the Sunday daytime card goes at 1 o'clock Eastern, and that is the Buffalo Bills. Of course, Buffalo was a very public side last week, as we talked about, and I did fade them here in the video and also with the best bet with the Patriots. But keep in mind, the reasoning behind that wasn't that I liked New England. It's just that Buffalo was in a horrendous scheduling spot. After the wins at home against Kansas City and San Fran, the Sunday night snow game, the high-scoring loss against the Rams, 86 points, came back with a 90-point game against Detroit for that win, an upset win, and then last week had to play the Patriots. That was the letdown spot. Whether they let down again here, we'll see. They only have a game at New England on deck. The Jets, though, are a very difficult team to back right now. They did look like they showed a little bit of a spark the last couple weeks. They, of course, had that 6-point overtime loss against the Dolphins, landed right on the spread because of overtime. Did beat the Jags, but then again, they were a road favorite. But then last week, we actually faded the Jets, had a best bet winner on the Rams. In fact, right here on the Fade the Public was on the Rams, and I said I agreed with them. Did not disagree with that one. In fact, we had a strong best bet for my clients. Part of that 12-0 Sunday sweep the last 3 weeks was the Rams last week and the Patriots. So we faded Buffalo and also faded the Jets. Probably won't be involved in this game. It's sitting on that key number of 10, by the way. And once again, love looking at those summer lines. The early line this summer was 2.5. How crazy. 2.5 was the look-ahead line this summer. Now it's 10, 10.5. Yes, the Jets have underachieved this season, to say the least, and they really haven't shown much on offense. They've been a little bit better throwing the ball the last few weeks, but once again, tough call here. It really comes down to Buffalo comes focus. I think the fact that the Bills started so poorly last week, were down 14-0, then outscored New England 24-7 to finish, could have been the buy sign, but once again, a little bit of public sentiment on the Bills on Sunday afternoon. So once again, I gave you the 5 public plays, additional leans on Miami and Buffalo for those of you keeping track at home. Hey, comment below. Let me know where you think we should play or fade with the public here in Week 17. I read the comments. I reply back. Also, any sides or totals you like in other games, drop them below. Don't forget, include some player props. A lot of you do really well with player props. I love when you include those, especially if you have the time to include some analysis so we can all learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're liking the free play videos, thumbs up, like, and comment below. It's that simple. The more thumbs up and likes, the more comments, the more free play videos I do each and every day here for basketball and football on WagerTalk TV. I do have breakdowns for all 4 college football playoff games on Tuesday and Wednesday for this coming week. So make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell as well for an instant alert so you know when these free play videos are posted each and every day on WagerTalk TV. And once again, instant 25% savings with promo code HOLIDAY25, including my strong best bets for this Sunday. Whether it's one play, 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year, every client gets the exact same games I am personally using each day. Same games that are up over 150 units this year for my all sports clients. Same games I've won consistently with for the past 29 years as a full-time professional handicapper. Now, if you want to try out this weekend, go for it. I love the Sunday card. We've gone 12-0 the last 3 Sundays. I'm seeing it well in the NFL. Hey, get on board right now and save 25% on a 1 day or even a 1 week. But if you're serious about a long-term investment approach, the 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, that's the way to go, and you will win consistently long-term. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We're not going to win every player every day. It doesn't work that way. But if you want to save, an investment approach is saving while you make money. An instant 25% discount on one of the bigger packages is a great deal. And once again, it's a special thank you for all of you who have been with me this year here in the videos. Also, my best bet service. Just use HOLIDAY25 for any purchase you make now through Tuesday, December 31st. You've got about 4 or 5 days remaining, depending on when you see this, and you will save 25%. You can use it early and often, no limit. Anything you can fill in your cart each day, you get a 25% discount by using HOLIDAY25. HOLIDAY25. Holiday25 at checkout. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Don't forget also, I'm very selective, which means those last cuts I post as free plays each and every day. Those free plays do quite well. Check out a bonus free play with analysis every day in either football or basketball on my page right now at WagerTalk.com, including a free play for Sunday. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Follow me on social media as well at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV. There's plenty more free play videos coming up next.